information security. So let's get started. Right. Information security is the act of defending information from unauthorized access, use, disclosure, disruption, modification, recording, or destruction. It's used regardless if information is taken electronically or physically. Since the beginning of time, many people have been stealing information from each other. With that being said, there are many laws and regulations in place. So across the world, there's obviously laws and regulations. The first one I'd like to talk about is the Sarbanes-Oxley Act of 2002, which is the federal law set new or expanded requirements for all U.S. public company boards, management, and public accounting firms. This bill was enacted because of Enron and WorldCom and how that whole debacle. I know there is a documentary about it, so if you want to learn more about it, but this essentially is, we'll learn this in accounting and why we do certain things and report certain things to make sure everything is under control. The second thing I'd like to talk about is the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act of 1974, short known as FERPA, which is it's federal law that governs the access of educational information records. At SLU, we can sign our rights away so that our parents can see our educational records. I know there are probably some students who let their parents see stuff and others who don't. I know I signed and didn't want my parents to see. But this essentially protects us in securing our information. It was started in 1972, probably 74. So it's really great for us so that we can have our own, because we are technically adults. And the last one is the Privacy International, which is a UK, United Kingdom-based firm that is it's a registered charity that defends and promotes the right to privacy across the world. It is active in North America, Europe, and Southeast Asia. I think it's important that everyone can have their own privacy, so it was great to find out about this nonprofit. I think they do a really good job in trying to make sure that people are secure and private, because I don't think a lot of people want their unauthorized stuff out in the open. So I think it's really important to discuss what unauthorized means, because that was in the definition of information security. And I think it depends on who you ask, because unauthorized, if you Googled it, is not having permission or approval of data. For example, most college students think their parents are unauthorized to see their grades unless we sign the FERPA. So we would, in that scenario, think our parents are the unauthorized personnel. Or the government probably thinks that other countries are unauthorized personnel if they want to see our classified data in all of our launch codes and stuff. So it really depends on who you ask. It differs in any situation, but you could probably figure out who is unauthorized in some things. Employees, CEOs, and CFOs probably have more access to stuff than the sales rep or a manager or an intern. With that being said, there's many careers in information security, so that you can help protect and manage companies' data. The jobs are high paying and in high demand. There's a range from security director, security manager, and much more. You can be a information security analyst. But I think it's a really rapid growth type of career, and I think not a lot of people, I know we take ITM, but I don't know many people who, I know that the amount of people taking ITM and having that as a career are growing because of such a high demand, and people want to make sure there's no security breaches and people want to be safe. So I think it's a really cool career. If you really understand it, you should probably go into it. They seem to pay well, and a lot of people so I know a really big route when you think of information security is probably the CIA, which is the Central Intelligence Agency, and that is the agency for civil and foreign intelligence service of the United States federal government that is tasked with gathering, processing, and analyzing national security. So it was founded in 1947. There's about 22,000 employees, and they have a really big budget of $15 billion. I know there's a couple of things that need to happen to be in the CIA, which is U.S. citizenship. You need to be physically in the United States when you apply. You probably will have to travel a lot, but it seems like a really cool, quote unquote, cool job. And there's probably a ton of shows and movies dedicated to portraying what the CIA does and saving information and like breaches and like code red. There's someone hacking into something, so it makes it seem cool to us, but I don't know. But there seems to be people who like to do that, so I think it's really cool. On the note of security and stuff, I'm going to talk about some too high-profile security breaches in the past 2 years. So we have Target, which a ton of people shop at. It's kind of like a grocery store now because they sell beauty supplies, food, clothes, electronics, almost everything, kind of like a little pricier Walmart. So in 2015, 70 million customers were hacked. A lot of credit card information and names got out. It was a data breach. It was during the holiday season. I know there's probably a lot of shoppers and the people were really affected. This really could affected their sales probably at that time and their reliability if they could be reliable. But I shop at Target still, so I haven't had any problems. So hopefully there won't be any more. And then the next one I'd like to talk about is Ashley Madison, which is an adult website where 7 million clients' records were compromised. It happened in July 2015, and credit card information and personal information was found and distributed, and a lot of people were ousted, and people were shocked to see who was on this website. So it really, I guess, sucks for those people who were trying to lay low in security breaches and stuff, which is kind of a little scary that your information could be out to the public and anyone could take your social security number, your credit card, your personal info. So with that, hopefully these two companies really backed up their stuff or hired someone to figure out what happened, how they can figure it out, and all that jazz. So in conclusion, talk about Mr. Robot. I really like the show. It's about a hacker essentially. So I think it's pretty cool that they did this show. It's really cool to see if this could actually get done, if someone really could do what the main character did. I don't want to give it away, but this kind of goes into information security on how maybe the next big thing could be us all being hacked. I know a lot of people are very scared of securing their information. You have your passwords, you have to change your passwords all the time and being secure. But just wanted to throw that in there. So in conclusion, probably more people or should be more secure depending on what you do. Hopefully the younger generation of us knows that maybe to have different passwords and not share your passwords and not make it so obvious how the older generation has passwords of password and 1234 and stuff like that. So also just be careful what information you use when signing up for stuff or putting stuff on the internet because you can trace stuff and it's really cool and scary to see how easily you can find stuff about certain people and stuff. So thank you so much for watching my presentation.